to some of the terminologies that we are going to use this afternoon. Then we'll talk about relationship between employee life cycle and human resource management. How do you manage the employee when they're already on board in your system? How do you start with them? And after the onboarding, what do they get? Then we'll talk about teaming. Teaming is a very large topic. However, we will try to do just what we are going to talk about. Let me just give us a brief. Is that we're going to talk about the overview of some of this topic, because they are heavy, big topics on their own, and we can't exhaust them in this presentation. We just touch them bits and bits, pieces, and you know that these are some of the areas, some, not all, that are important for us as HR to get involved. Then we talk about employee engagement and empowerment. Very, very interesting. Employee engagement and empowerment is what we used to refer to in management by objective as delegation, but it has been, it has evolved. Management by objective has evolved, delegation has evolved, but we are still talking about delegation, but it's more like engagement and empowerment. Then we're going to talk about bottom-up approach to managing people, to managing employees in the workplace. So we are not calling them employees, we say people management. People management. I'm always, it's not that I know I may not be able to change some things in my own corner of the world. One thing is that I don't like using the word human capital or human resources, because to me, when you say capital, you use and expend, resources we use and discard, whatever. But depending on the way you look at it, we want to put the human face to people management in the workplace. Then we put all together and we see what we can do. Then we discuss. But we need to know that, please, if you have any question as regards any of the slides, please chat me, then I'll reply you immediately. And we will talk about it and we'll get over it and we'll continue. Then I also want us to remind us that all answers are correct. In adult class, Baba no they fail, I always say, because my father came first, my mother came first, your parents also came first. I wonder whose parent came last. So all answers are correct, okay? Please never mind whatever. In nonsense, we get sense, okay? Out of nonsense, you get sense. Just remove the none, then sense to be left. So break into my transmission, but don't unmute yourself. There'll be no power failure, okay? So let's talk. Let's start talking. Thank you. I met some of us online yesterday, and it was an interesting bit. Very, very interesting. And I enjoyed myself. I learned from you. Can we please record this? Yes, it's on record. It's being recorded already. It's being recorded. Yes. And you get the slides after now. I enjoyed myself thoroughly well yesterday from our doctoral fellows and the fellows. Okay. And we did make some impact on one another in the course of our discussion. So thank you very much. So I always start most of my discussion, especially when we are talking about or talking about human beings, managing people. You say you are paid to produce results. Yes. It is your people who produce results. Yes. Not only you, because we don't work in silos. So focus your energy on helping people to be successful. And that is what the HR is all about. HR is not only hire, fire, dismiss, or whatever. No. We want the business to thrive. We want the business to continue. So what do? You need people to ensure that we are successful. The business goes on. Have you ever wondered that in Nigeria, we always say that most of the organizations or business outfits, only few have survived 50 years. However, outside of our climb, we hear Guinness, 1765 or 17 something. We hear of Heineken, we have KFC, we have some other ones. They survived because they believed and trusted people who carried on, who ran with their dreams, who are now taking over. Those who started, who had the vision, they're dead and gone. But their dream is still here with us. And some of us are enjoying it. So focus your energy on people so that they will make our business to be successful, whether private or public. Okay, so what do we want to do now? As HR, we know that we need certifications, and that is one of the reasons we are here. And in certification and anything that we do, we source for knowledge, we add more skills, and we want to improve our performance before we scale it to the people, that scale it down to the people that are going to ensure that the dream is accomplished. So how do we do this? We need to think of how to manage a group of people and their personality, their work habits in how do they put in their time, how do they deploy themselves into the work. After you've engaged them, or you've done the onboarding, you now give them their job schedule, you've posted them to a department or a business unit. What are their personalities like? Did we get the right people on the right seat in the bus? Are they doing what they're expected to do, in spite of the fact that we give them the job schedule? So a person's performance is dependent on the personality trait and the job skills that the person is coming in with. And some of us, not too long ago, about 5-10 years ago, some organizations will say you shouldn't be more than 27 years of age and 5 years of experience. When did I pass out of the university? Until they started realizing that they needed the experience, not only the certification. So it is very important as HR that we talk about the personality traits of the people when we want to onboard them or before them, so that we put some psychometric tests in place to know whether this person, if somebody annoys him, he can take what do they call, the stapler, and throw at the person, or do something. Okay, do something that will put the organization in disrepute. So we need to look at that. It's not only the job skill, personality traits are part of it. Somebody told me not too long ago that some organizations are using the zodiac sign. I said, I don't understand that. If you are a Gemini, you tend to behave like this. If you are Aries, you tend to behave. If you are Leo, maybe that's part of what they're using now. But when I was learning some of those things, we were told that personality traits, what are those things that if you want to be a marketer, if you want to be this, these are some of the things that you need to have. These are some of the things we look out for in you. So as HR, let's look at some of those personality traits and psychometric tests that will help us get there. So we also help employees to understand their strength and how they can be most successful on the job. I'm sure we heard some people, if the HR or anybody, the immediate supervisor, sort of clams on them and say, when they sack me, they will join my salary to his own. No, we don't want that in the workplace. We need to build a community of people that will work together, that synergy will be there, and the organization will be successful. You will get people that will be successful in the organization. You say, are you not moving? You say, oh God, now here I did. This is where this is where I voted for, and I'm staying here. So we also, as HR, we help all types of employees to reach their potential. In training, L&D, we say nobody is useless. And what do you mean by that? Let's take those who are partially or who are not sighted. You go to specialist school for the blind in Lagos, you'll be amazed at those children. They are not sighted. Some of us that are sighted and with our hands and everything complete, what they do with their hands without sight, you will know that nobody is useless. Everybody has a potential. Your potential will be, their potential can be in academics, the potential can be in skills and whatever. Everybody has a potential. And that is why it's always said that, everybody has an innate talent. All we have to do is ensure we bring it out. So we also help others to blend personality, lead team, and remember, diversity and inclusion is very important in the workplace. Remember that diversity started in the Garden of Eden when God made man and woman, gender. And age also came in. At least Adam was whether 1 year, how many years, we don't know. But God, so that means whether 1 hour older, or at least diversity started in the Garden of Eden. And what do we need to do as HR? Let's bring everybody in, so for the success of the organization. So what do we want to talk about? Let's quickly look at, some of us still have this title, personnel management, where some of us have human resource manager, human resource this. So let's quickly look at who is the personnel manager. Personnel manager refers to those functions that employers regard as human resources. It was in those days when you go and say, I want to see the personnel manager. I want to see. So personnel management now has evolved into HRM, and HRM has carried personnel management and other bits along in the course of the journey of human resource management, managing people. Okay, so some organizations still stick to personnel management, and they're there. You have personnel manager, but you have the human resource manager up there, the HRM. So personnel manager does the job of hiring, recruiting, compensation, and benefits, and other things that are tilted towards administration. Then let's look at the human resource professional. As a human resource professional, that's why we are here, to ensure we get some certification to back up whatever we have been doing and what we are going to do after now. So who is a professional? A professional can be within the organization, or he can stand out to be a consultant, but he must be a professional in order to be able to handle the human resource activities of the organization. So what does he do? What does that human resource professional do? He provides services to operating managers because it's always there. All departments, HR is all has a hand in it. They are advocates and business partners. So they should be able to do what? Design effective training programs. If they don't know how to design, there will be somebody in L&D, but they should be able to oversee that this program that you are giving us, how relevant? Well, how will it meet the needs of my people? That is one of the things that a professional should do, HR professional. You should also do what? Redesign work, especially when we are having re-engineering, reorganization in the workplace. Nowadays, most organizations are going automation. They're automated. And what do they do? We need to, if we are not going to downsize, we need to bring our people to speed in the area of technology. When we also talk of TQM or quality, ISO, all these are in the purview of the HR. He may not do it. He will hand it over to those who are in quality design or quality implementation, but he has to oversee some of these activities. So what next thing that a professional does is what he now oversees the administrative part of hiring, recruiting, promotion, and everything, so that people will not feel that they are being discriminated against. So it's very important that we look at some of these definitions. So let's quickly look at the human resource consultant. Remember, I said professional, you can be in or you can be out. You are a professional, you decide to start your own consultancy outfit. Private, you are in a professional, you are in the public service or paid employment. You are still a professional, but a consultant, he stands out. He's the one that we go to when there are issues in the organization, when we feel that, because I found myself in that situation when some organizations say, I said, but you have HR. He said, Madam, leave that one. They won't listen to him. But when they see somebody from outside, they will pour their hearts out. So that is what the consultant does. So he leaves the organization with an efficient and productive HR department. Specific issues that he is brought into to address, he will address them before he goes away. Because if he does not, next time he comes, the HR manager will look through the window and say, tell that man I'm not in the office, because you did not add value. You did not prefer solution to the problems, to the issues that they send. So as an HR consultant, make sure that issues are resolved. Don't leave. So as HR, please, consultant, give a timeline. Give the objectives of what you want to do. Give them that, okay, this is what I want to do within this timeline. This is the percentage. And also in L&D, we always say, give timeline, give the percentage of what you feel will be achieved within that timeline. If not, if you go away and say everything is solved and things are not resolved, please, you are not there. So you should overhaul the organization. And one thing that consultants should try to do is that when you are given the job, make sure the answer to that, or the resolution or the solutions to those problems, are inside of the problem, inside of the organization, inside. So what do? Get people that will assist you to get there. They have seen their problem, but the problem they saw may not be the problem. It could be a symptom. Okay, the symptom. So you have to, what you have to do, go to the root cause of the problem for you to be able to overhaul whatever they have asked you to do, resolve the problems, and be able to create a model specific to that organization. Some of us are fond of moving one package, one issue, one package, let me put it that way, from one organization to another, thinking that, okay, let's take this as an example. I don't like talking in vacuum. Let's take this as an example. So an organization, a blue chip organization, called you to come and attend to their drivers' problems. But you have been so successful working with Dangote truck drivers. But this is a blue chip company. They don't have trucks. They have luxury cars. Then you now carry that and take it there and just worked on it a little, and it will not suffice. It will not suffice. So when you do that, go in, do what you call needs assessment, and see what you need to put in that organization so that they will be productive and efficient workforce when you leave. So let's quickly take a holistic approach to HRM. See, with all the four balls surrounding HRM in the middle, you see, HR works with salaries and wages, which can be under the purview of any other department, maybe also admin or wherever. Then we have SHES. SHES is an acronym for safety, health, environment, and security. In the era of Boko Haram, kidnapping and everything, you send your staff on a trip to Abuja, and that trip will end up costing the organization 50 million naira. So a trip to Abuja, 50 million naira, instead of say, it's a junior staff, it can go by road. Instead of using 150,000 return trip, then you now pay 50 million. That's an expensive trip by road. So Lagos, Abuja, 50 million naira. So it's up to you to decide. Okay. ILR is when they come up and say, we no go agree, they say go call the HR. So industrial and labor relation, and the 4 Ps: personnel, policy, promotion, performance management, and strategy. Remember, HR is part of the boardroom. We are there when policies are being made, are being designed, and we go there to go and take the policies for implementation or with the workforce. So we need to be able to manage that bit. That is why HR is seen as the link, the rope that joins management and the workforce. When you are facing management, you are back in the workforce. And when you are back in the workforce, you're facing management. So where are we as HR? We should be up and doing. Let's create that community that will get our workforce to deliver, that will make the people management easier. So, and one of that community is the L&D community, training, learning and development. Always ensure your people are trained, because it is said that if you don't train them, don't blame them. So let's quickly take a peep at employee life cycle. Okay, employee life cycle. These are the 4 steps to, it has been compressed from 11 to 6. Now we are operating these 4 steps of employee life cycle. The first step is what you hire. This is at the point of interview and everything. You sort out those who are good enough out of all the applications that you have received. So you now bring them in and say, okay, we want to hire you based on your talent and your skills. The next one, after you have hired them, you have sorted them, recruitment and selection, recruitment and everything, they are now here. You have hired them. They are now in the organization. When they come in, at that point, we call them, you will inspire them. They have decided to leave all others, to forsake all others, and settled with your organization. So what do? You start them, even if they came in as with first degree or whatever degree. One man's meat is another man's poison. What they learned in one place may not work in your place. So what do? Onboard them. When you talk of onboarding, you now train them, because we are looking at sometimes in the future, these people will take the leadership of the organization. So onboarding, induction, orientation, whatever you do, call it, help the new employee to understand why you are in business. Give them their key result area, key performance indicators, give them their job schedule, hand them to, it's one organization that I consulted for one time, long time ago, before mentoring and coaching became the in thing. You know what they used to do? They used to attach about 5 new entrants to one coach, or to, not coach now, to a mentor. The coaches are supposed to be your direct report. I'll tell you on the job. Mentors to at least give you a well-rounded image of what is expected of you in the workplace, in that organization. So that is one of those days, but eventually I don't know whether they are still on it, but that is one of the ways in which you can build mentors in those organizations. Those days, they were not the direct supervisor of the mentee. Let's assume that I'm an accountant. They give me somebody in engineering as my mentor, not because it's not job related. Mentorship is not job related. It is what to give you a well-rounded. So after the inspiration, inspire, then you now talk of what? Admire. And that is the point where the person is already grounded and seated. You now get a lot of feedback on how the organization is running, how the person is running, how the person is being motivated. That is why some HR gurus came up with employee of the month, employee of the year, whatever, that you need to encourage them, recognize that we are all in this business together. Then the last bit is what? After the admire is also performance management, not necessarily performance appraisal, because management is step by step all the way, not appraisal that at that point is kill and go. No. Management, because we want you to do better than what you are doing currently. So the last bit of this employee life cycle is what? Retire. When we talk of retire, it's not that the person has spent 35 years in service or 60 years of age. Okay, the person can ditch your organization midstream. I've had enough. I'm going. I want to jackpot from your organization. So what do? They exit. So HR, before anybody exits from our organization, please let's do the exit interview. And that is one thing that some people don't do. Even if they don't want to, just tell them, write something. And this is where the old school suggestion box comes in. It is a faceless box. You don't have to put your name. Just drop whatever you feel. We used to have that in those days, but I don't know whether we still do, because I don't want you to feel that this, maybe I may still have some entitlement with you. And if I write anything, you will not give me. So you now talk of retirement. These are the first steps: hire, inspire, admire, and retire. Retire. So we need to ask, why are you leaving us in the first place? Why are you going away? So that we can use that to manage the organization. Story. Give me thumbs up if you believe what our story in the chat room. Story. Am I there? Are we together? If you believe that we are together, just give me a thumbs up. If you don't understand what you've been talking about, thumbs down. Thank you. Abdulaziz, Madala. Okay. Iman, Jonathan, Modeling, Chinedu, thank you. Jokan, thank you. Yes. So I'm yet to get to that point where I'll ask you questions. So be ready. I can call on anybody, and anybody that answers well, there's something that the coordinator will give on my behalf, because I know that something is missing in Lagos, and I will send that in immediately if you get the question. Okay. So now under the area of hire and inspire, most HR, we always think that we give employees we'll do what you call employees career path. Please, career path is something that you should discuss with the person. Like what late MKO Abiola said, he said when he went to United Nations to talk about his what is that in his mandate, he said, you cannot give me a haircut if I'm not there. You know, so that means I have to be there to agree with what you want to plan. Because some people, they found themselves that at least man no die, man no rotten. Let me just get this job. Let me go there. At least 30 days make a pay. So they came in as admin, but their heart is in account. So when they were still doing, they're still in admin, they've gone to sit for ICANN, ANAN, and whatever. And you now say, I'm planning a career path for you because you are in admin. The person is not interested in admin. If you don't discuss the person that, oh, this and that, the person will not tell you, oh, God, honestly, I'd rather be in account. So it's always important that at each step of the way, before we promote our people, let's have a discussion with them, have a conversation, and you will be able to see where they are heading, how happy they are. Okay, if you cannot as HR, one of your representatives should be there with them at the point when they are having their performance management form, so that they will talk, discuss with their immediate supervisor. So as HR, what do we do? Our advice for employee career is, what do you expect from that person in the first year? What is the person bringing to the table? What does your company expect from the employee? Because most times employee, what do you know what we always say? What is in it for me? That is the abbreviation of WIIFM. Now we also say, what is in it for management as well? Not only you. So you discuss their career progress and you will get there. So we need to, in conjunction with what? L&D. Because by the time the person says this or that, you now have to say, okay, you need training in this area, you need training in that area. We need to bring you up to speed to be able to get to the career ladder of wherever you are going. So they'll be able to assist us to get business results. Story, question time, blessing time. Type your answer into the book, into the chat room. Whoever gets the first, remember I said all answers are correct. Whoever gets the first one, I'll post something now to the coordinator, and the coordinator will share it. So team, can someone give me a brief definition of team? What do you understand by team? I'll say I'm working in my team, I'm a team leader, I'm team this, I'm team that. First person that will get it will get something now. Your time starts now. What is team? Team. Yeah, don't tell me, type, so that they will not say I'm being partial. Type the fastest finger. Team. A group of people with same goal. Good. Jonathan. Is that Jonathan? Yeah. Coming together of individuals to achieve a common goal. 2. I'm sending the gifts now. 2. Then the third one, nobody. Jonathan and Mr. Lawal, you got the gift of, I'm sending the code down to Lagos, because I was made to understand that Lagos is very hot. So don't switch on your AC. Just take the cold now and run with it. And I'm sure you feel the cool. You feel cool. Okay, that is my gift. Thank you. People are now writing. A group of people coming together for a task, yes. A group of people working collaboratively with a common goal, yes. A group of people with different skills, lovely, and personality, fine, with the same goal, good. Working together with a leader, fantastic. Who is that? Chinedu Chukura. Fantastic. More AC for you from me to you. Okay. Jokan, yes, because he put everything together. Okay. Jokan says team can be defined as a group of persons coming together to achieve a common goal. Fantastic. Man, can the physical industry use the mic from here? Oh, sure. They will let you. Sure. Yes, you can. Just give it to the person and let the person talk. A group of people collaboration for a common goal. Yes, collaborating, fine. Somebody on the floor there, okay, I will give my AC to Chinedu. Others, start blowing yourself. You can fan yourself. But Chinedu, please, if you feel the AC that I'm sending from here, let me know. That's my first gift today. It's equal to commitment in carrying out a task to achieve a common objective. Fine. A group of people to achieve a set goal. Fantastic. Okay. So Chinedu, tell me whether you are feeling cold. Others blow, 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 blow. Okay, that is my gift to you, Chinedu Chukura. Tell them that you are feeling cool. Others are in the heat, so just blow, blow. Okay, yes, people bond together by common goal and objective. I'm feeling it. Thank you, Chinedu. I agree. Oh, see me. I'm giving you thumbs up. You see, that's my guy. He's able to feel cool. Others are blowing themselves. Okay. So now let's quickly look at team. Why do we need to form team in the workplace? Why? Why? Because we have common goals. I'm feeling it too, Jonathan. How can you feel it? Jonathan, I didn't send it to you. Jonathan, you can't feel cool. I didn't send it to blow yourself. Confess, blow yourself. So it's only Chinedu I sent the cool weather to. Okay. So let's quickly look at why do we need to form teams in the workplace? Okay, because we need one another. We have common identity. We need to work together. We have to common objectives and goals. So we can't do it alone. And that is why I love the definition that Chinedu gave us. Everybody together. Okay. In team working, it is not thou shalt do this, thou shalt not do that. We should work together. We should do what we need to do together because we have a common goal ahead of us. That is the essence of having teams. So let's quickly look at some types of teams that we have. We have the functional teams in the organization to perform specific function, manager and the other associate. We don't like using the word subordinate, associate in a functional area. Functional, that particular team, accounting, personnel and all. Then we also have the other team, which you call cross-functional. That means HR is working in accounts or purchasing or L&D, all of us working together, but with a common goal. Maybe in accounting, we have our set target. So that is a functional team. Finish ensuring that the target is achieved. But cross-functional, maybe your end product is the beginning of my production. So from one place to the other, so team, we need to put together, to come together and be able to do things together. Okay, research, development, design, all of them, ensuring that the corporate goal is achieved. There are other types of teams, but these are the two that we'll quickly look at. What does it mean to be team able? Team able. It's not everybody that will be able to be team able. You have to make sure you make some people to develop that team ability. Team members should work well with others on a level playing ground. If it is not level, we might try to make it level. Contribute knowledge and expertise with equitable amount. We are not saying 50-50. If I can only give 40 and my 40 will make sense, please add your 60. Insofar I am doing something to get us there. We'll also be patient with the process. We should be compassionate. Then coach the team to improve on performance and prefer solution to identify issues. Now, do I have anybody on the floor, not those online now? Because those online have already taken the gift of fresh air of AC from here. Online, in person, can you give the mic to someone that has a question for us so that I'll be able to take the question from that person? Is anybody in the house in person that wants to ask us a question? If there isn't, then we continue. Okay, if there isn't, then we continue. Okay, thank you. So as HR, we should ensure team effectiveness. How? With the composition, free interaction, they should participate. We should have our objective insight and the task that everybody will do. Please learn to communicate. Communicate well so that everybody will know where we are going, our focus. So ensures that as HR that our leadership style shows what we want our people to do. We should be committed to whatever. We should empower them. We should reward them, or else we lose our employees and deploy training programs that will take them to that shore of success. Let's quickly look, what are these two elephants doing? The most satisfying two-letter word in teaming is what? We. We use it. Don't always say, I, this, I. My own, my ownization. My ownization is not what we should expect in teaming. So the most satisfying two-letter word is what? We use it. Then the killer word in teaming is what? Ego. Ego. People with ego, they kill team working. Kill that word. Kill that character. Your ego will kill the team. So please look out for this. Remember, if you don't use we, if you use I, my, me, I alone, this is what will happen to your team. The wheel is a great analogy for the benchmark of team excellence. Poor performance in one area, the wheel goes flat. The wheel goes flat. So even if you don't own a car, you have been in vehicles that had flat tires. So something can deflate your team. So, and one of them is job burnout. Job burnout. When employees feel job burnout, they feel they are burning their candles at both ends. And what causes job burnout? What causes job burnout? Because people feel they are tired of the job. Why? Not that the job is not challenging. Someone is here. Chop alone. Chop alone, die alone is the result of using I instead of we. Thank you, Jonathan. Yes, chop alone, die alone. So it's part of what we call job burnout. It's also part of what causes job burnout. So you see, some people, it's not because the jobs are not, or their job is not challenging, but they feel that the job is there, the demand of the job is there, they can cope under the stress. However, the resources are not there. The guy is chopping the resources alone. He may not even be chopping the resources alone, but he feels that during my time, I did not enjoy what you people are enjoying. Wait for your time when you become the manager or when you become the team lead. Okay, so that is it. He may not be chopping anything, but inside of him, that attitude of turn by turn, wait for your turn. Okay, that is one of the things that causes job. So it now gives people stress and depression. And don't forget, one thing that COVID, the pandemic has brought to us is that COVID has brought a lot of depression into the workplace. Mental well-being of our staff, of our employees should be paramount in our hand. Bamishe has this. He says, should an HR choose his team members, or should he be able to work with available people, knowing that not all people are mobilizable? Sure. HR cannot, it's not all the time that HR can pick, or any team lead can pick his members. It's not. You get to a place, you work with the people that you meet there. And that is the essence of emotional management. Give me anybody, I will work with them, and you will make them change for the better. Honestly, Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay. So employee engagement. Oh, okay. Via Bombo. It says thumbs up for everybody. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I said somebody. Please don't make me talk to me, my friend, or my enemies. No, no, it's not foes, friends or foes. Okay. Oh yeah, employee engagement and empowerment. Understand by that? It's okay. All answers are correct. Don't worry. All answers are correct. Don't worry. It says reward system. Nobody on the floor to tell me, yeah, this is interesting. Employee engagement and empowerment. Let's see. The level of dedication of employee, correct? Implementing a reward system, correct? I'll answer it, don't worry. Hey, well, this is serious. I will hang my gloves because it seems as if we have not been engaging our people. Seems we have not been empowering our people. Oh, nobody. Oh, this is interesting. I thought I have some people that are already doctor, PhD, and gosh, okay, we go on. If not, I will have gone on. I will have gone on work to rule. I believe it starts from the recruitment, correct? Your team is the most powerful stakeholder, which must be engaged rather than managed, correct? All answers are correct, as I said. Okay, let's quickly see. What do you mean by empowerment? Employee empowerment to, let's see whether this person will get my gift. Getting employees to get their job done per specification is employee engagement, correct? Employee empowerment is to invest people with authority. Remember, I said delegation has evolved. In those days of delegation, we say, are you giving somebody power with authority, or giving somebody authority with power? So empowerment is what? Giving somebody, invest people with authority. Thank you, Dahiro. Dahiro got that, but it's not full. Okay. Sharing various degrees of power with lower level employees to better serve the customer, to better serve the stakeholders. A primary goal of employee empowerment is to give workers a great voice in decisions that are related to work. Authority, voice, and what? Lower level employees. That is what HR should do. So then let's look at engagement. Because engagement are very big, broad topics that you can't just talk, we just touch it. Okay, engagement. Being emotionally connected to the organization, being fully involved in and enthusiastic about your work, and who cares about, and that person who cares about the success of the organization. You are engaged. You become a champion for the organization. Yes. Okay, engagement deals with making do active, while empowerment deals with up capacity people. Fantastic. You're involving the employee in organizational goal. Unamani, correct. Emeka, very correct. It's good. First one, empowerment, lower level of officers, lower level that you now feel, see, you can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Empower them, give them the authority, give them the power to do some of these things. You see that is delegation. Engagement. That person must have a buy-in in the organization, believing that if this organization goes down, we go down together. So what do I need to do? I don't want this organization to go down. Employee, someone says, employee empowerment is creating the enabling environment for the employees to do or execute responsibility seamlessly. Fantastic. So engagement, I see myself as part of this organization, and that is part of what we talk about in entrepreneurship. You now have someone who has the interest of the organization. What does that mean? Intrapreneurship. I have a buy-in. I don't have this to have a share in the organization. Some people feel that I need to have a share in the organization before I get engaged. No, your habit, your attitude, everything about you shows that you are there. Kola Ahmed says employee empowerment is provision of work tools for employees to achieve their assigned tasks within the organization. Fantastic. Lovely. So look at it, empowerment and engagement, we need to get them there. Remember, we are building a community of people management. If they don't have a say, if they don't have a voice, if they don't, we can't. And it's HR that will get them there. So engaging and empower employees, what do? Engagement is achieved when people organization respect their work and that their contribution is highly appreciated. A result of stimulating employees. So you need to do what? Demonstrate that you value people as HR, share goals and direction, trust them. That is why when we were talking about and what is this thing? What we used to do, delegation in those days. People will say delegation is like, some people will say delegation is like when you give masquerade, goat, you release the rope. But some people feel, no, we should not release the rope because if they do something, how can I trust them totally? So trust people, know their capabilities, know what they can do before you entrust them with activities. Provide information for decision making, delegate authority and impact opportunity, not just more work. Provide feedback, frequent feedback, so that when they are veering off the focus, you'll be able to get them back into your radar. Listen to learn and ask questions and provide guidance as HR. Please, let's do this. Help employees feel rewarded. Somebody mentioned that earlier, and recognized for empowered behavior. So I want to ask the question. Question time. Employee engagement and empowerment, good or bad? If you think it's good, thumbs up into the Rukayat, Mrs. Lawa. Mrs. Lawa Rukayat, please mute your employee engagement.
I'm not here. I don't want to get in that I will see from back.
Sunday John, mute yourself, or host, mute everybody and leave me alone here. Employee engagement, good or bad? Good. Thumbs up, good. Thumbs down, bad. And if you say thumbs down, then tell us why. Good. Oh, so I'm getting all good. So that means you believe that we should be engaged. So you see, if you don't get them engaged, and if you feel that they are not, you should not empower them. This is what we get. This is what we get. You put your employees on edge. They will be like these rocks state. Instead of them to be at peace, you two will be on edge. You will be like the proverbial chicken that rests on a rope. The rope will not rest. The chicken will not rest. You will not remember to breathe, and they will not remember to breathe. So we need to be at peace. So because when you engage and empower them, all of us will be like this rock in Sherry Hills. This one, the one on the left is Riom. The other one, Sherry Hills, both just plateaus. So as managers, as HR, what do we need to do? The first thing we do is attract the talent, we develop them, and in all of it, then to the business process, we need to recognize them. Somebody mentioned that earlier. We need to encourage and reward them, and they will contribute immensely to the business success. Alaji Kamal says, Kola Ahmed says, for someone to give a deity a goat, he or she must know what he has to get in return before leaving the room. That's interesting, yes. But you have to leave the rope. If the deity decides to struggle the goat from you, there is no way you will not leave the rope. Or else the person will follow the deity into the goat into the deity's den. So employee empowerment and engagement is in an organization is give and take. Yes, that is why I mentioned earlier that what is in need for me and what is in need for management. So for us to retain our talent in the workplace, recognize, encourage, and reward them, it is very important. So it's all about what? Readiness, the right people for the right job at the right time in order to achieve results. This is what HR, whether we are professional consultants or personnel managers, we should watch out for this. There are some people in the workplace, they know the job very well, but they don't have the potential to go to higher institutions to obtain degrees and whatever, but they don't have the potential. But some people have the potential. Delegation is a requirement for effective leadership. Oh, fantastic. Yes, of course. Okay. Some potential, okay, the potential is high. Maybe they have certificates and everything and all, but some have high job performance, but they potential to back to school and acquire certificate. And that's the story of Bodayelo. Bodayelo used to be very good on the job. And when they took for promotion, they did not promote Bodayelo role of manager. He still remained the supervisor. They brought in Uncle JJC with his certificate. Okay, they brought him in to be boss to Bodayelo. Bodayelo knows the goings on the shop floor. So what did he do? He threw spanner in the wheel of progress. But that JJC could not perform. So because that is one of the errors some of us make. When there is a vacant position, let's do internal and external advertisement. We will find a way of saying, but Ayelo, you didn't do well. I've done well in this area. So why the things that as are, let's move people deadwood are usually seen in the public sector. Deadwood, sorry to say that's also in the public sector. Always those you see in the work in the organization, especially in public places, public sector. You push file, I push file, 30 days make it pay. Man no die, man no running. After 3 months, 3 years, they promote him. After 4 years, they promote him. Are you adding value? What value are you adding? Some of them are problem children. These are the people that they say, do you know who brought me? Some of them, I'll tell you the story of one of my associates in those days. 4 years, he was not promoted. His mates were promoted. So when he came to my department, I came and said, Madam, please, seems as if you are my, what do they call it? Destiny helper. I said, like how? He said, 4 years they have not promoted me. I'm going to the 6th year. I said, what happened? He said, he didn't know. Okay. I now went to HR. I said, what is wrong with this staff? Why? Then I said, there's nothing in his personal file. I said, like, they said, what was there? It's a complimentary card. I said, no certificate, no application, no nothing. Now called him. I said, see yourself. Got me. Do you know who I am? Do you know who is behind it? So these are some of the people, but eventually we helped him out. Honestly, he had a school set and whatever. We told him to write and what. So he got his promotion later that year, but he went for the interview and everything, but he was promoted. So they now gave him the accrual of what he would have been promoted all those years. So he now, some of his colleagues, people started running, and Mrs. Igbe performed the magic. I said, I didn't. We just looked into his case and we sort of got him rewarded for past activities. So these are some of the people. We don't know who I am. Deadwood. We want to move them to being problem children so that their performance will be higher, or they look at their potential and move them to workhorses, and eventually they become the star. And that is the essence of why we will have to build people management community to manage the people that will run with the dream, that will make our organization survive hundreds of years long after we're gone. So what do we need to do? We need to develop a new mindset. Counsel them, mentor, train them, counsel them, mentor them, coach them, and you get the best out of them. Okay. know that some that we feel they are not trainable, they don't want to hear, but they will eventually, depending on how you manage them. So that we'll be able to retain them for business. So let's quickly look at the essence of, I'll stop to ask questions after the next slide. So the essence of a new mindset is for HR to look at the needs of our people, the needs, do what you call needs assessment, bring them in. What do we need to do? Look at the root cause. What is this person not doing? Let's not have what we call the self-fulfilling prophecy of bad you are, bad you always do, not you always be, nothing will come from you. No, look at it. Does this person need improvement in the area of soft skills or hard skills? Remember, soft skills will help the hard skills, because hard skills are those in technical and all, turning this and that. So what do we want to do? We want to close the performance issue, the skills training between the employee and the performance. So bring in skills in order to help the individual to get there. So let's quickly look at the power of skills. The power of skills. Imagine skills without the S, it kills. Imagine it further without the SK, it heals. The organization performance there, is either killed or falls ill without skills. You may have the capital to jump start a business, all the raw materials needed, the dream and the vision, but a bankable proposal without skills, competence, all these variables will not be actualized. So we need the people. Remember, I've been talking about our associate, and this is where they come in. We are building a community of professionals that will manage the people in the workplace. This is one of the approaches that we use, bottom-up approach. We know traditionally leadership is top-bottom in form of hierarchy. What modern management say, leadership can come from the bottom, especially when you're talking of team working. From the bottom, how? Somebody with a brilliant idea comes to tell this organ, oh, this and that and that. I know people have issues with this. Say, I'd rather let everything stay in here. Inside my stomach, I will not tell organ. Because if I tell him, he will carry it on his head and say it's his brilliant idea and it go and show you. He will not remember me. It has happened to some of us, but that will not make you not to showcase what you have. Bottom-up leadership approach is a one-off act of what? One-off act of influence or impact. You come with a brilliant idea. I will wrap up this slide with an example of one woman that I met in the journey of my L&D. The woman was the one that brought what is that thing? Village kitchen to Mr. Biggs before Mr. Biggs went under. She told us that when UAC was going into confectionery, they said, UAC, no. Then UAC, Mr. B, UAC meat pie and all of those donuts became the choice of people. Then she now realized that people got fed up of confectionery from Mr. Biggs. She now said, let's introduce village kitchen, mother tongue. They said, like, no, that's Mama Puta. No. She told us the story at a training program. I met her live. So she now said, someone now said, let's try her. She was still a young officer. She said, let's try it. And you remember, village kitchen became the in thing. Anything you wanted in Mr. Biggs then, village kitchen supplied. So that is the essence of bottom-up approach. Hear them out, listen to them, so that it's not that they are taking over your job as senior management, but it's a one-off thing, and it could be that which will save the organization from going under. So bottom-up approach is leadership shown from the bottom. It's like a green leadership. It's something young, good, interesting that we will need. So it's different from the informal leadership or whatever. It's something about okay, that it says this will give us a leeway into the future. It will help our present situation. Third, leadership. Let's give them the opportunity to showcase. Give them the voice and they'll be there. Question time, blessing time. Before we end, I've been asking those in person, those who are there with us in person, to take the mic and ask questions or share an experience with us so that we can move on. Question time, blessing time. If you cannot ask me any question that you are in person there, give your question to the IT and let them type it to me so that we can attend to it. I don't want it to be that because those who are online are enjoying the opportunity to interact with us, because we will soon end. If you don't have any question, those who are online, do you have any question or to share an experience with us? Then we move on. If you do, I'll continue. Then if you do, we'll take it as I move on. So before we end, remember that the pandemic has changed the world forever.
I've been trying to survive in the thing didn't go now. But I'm
Child,
trying to survive in it didn't go.
she tongue. Sunday
You be-
John, no. Sunday John,
Yes, ma'am.
mute your mic. You know, the pandemic has changed the world forever. Forever. It has brought so many things into the workplace. Work from home, virtual learning. So many things have changed in the workplace.
Move now. Okay.
Safety, health, and environment have taken the forefront. Terrorism has taken.
I don't know that unmute my
Chai. So safety, health, and environment have taken so many things.
So you having me to
What we need to do? How do you choose the HR model? IT, can you please mute this guy? Mute him. Mute.
I'm moving your
Please
thing.
mute Sunday John.
I'm unmute it now.
Mute. That means Rufe, Abi, Kulene, Kunachi, Kule Mike,
I'm
Kule.
unmute it. It's
Mute, not on mute. Close it. So someone say, Aaron Stefano says, how do you choose an HR model for your company?
This is
Aaron, whatever you do has to be specific to your organization.
this is
Models.
doing by themselves.
There's so many models out there that you can use to manage your organization. So there's no one to do model or one size fits all model for your organization. So someone say, now wow, God Sunday says yesterday, yes, he's been us and distracting. So what is Stefano's question? What model can we use? One size does not all in management. Okay, you to determine which one will work well with you. Okay, we work well with you. So someone says, okay, more clarification between personnel management and human resource manager. Personnel manager's role. Okay, I hope Stefanos have answered your question before I go to question from the floor. Okay, so one size does not fit all. You need to know the ones that will work for you. There are so many models out there. You can mix and match and see the one that will work for you. Okay, one size does not fit all. Someone says more clarification between personnel manager and human resource manager. Human resource manager is the bigger umbrella, not the PDP umbrella, the bigger umbrella that under which we have personnel manager. And with the first or the fifth slide that we had, personnel manager deals more with admin, and inside of it we also have career development. Inside of personnel management we have selection and recruitment or whatever. If you don't outsource it, okay, and inside of that, inside of personnel manager, they are the ones that in conjunction with training, learning, and development, they will do the onboarding of new entrants. Then inside personnel manager is you also have well, what is it I wanted to talk about? But there are some other activities. performance management and ratings and all those things. That is where you have personnel management. But the HR is larger. It takes care of labor-related issues, safety issues, training issues, whatever. It's the bigger. HR has its leg in almost every part of the organization. So how relevant can one be at workplace as head of a team to be successful as HR personnel, construction organization? How relevant? Okay, before I go to that, in the public sector, HR is nothing more than what your chief executive wants, and hardly can any model work. But in the public service, we have the public service rule, which is binding on the chief executive. He can only work around it. Okay, he can only work around it. And in the public sector, we have unions. So union are some of the check and balance that we have in the public sector. Okay, so it can only twist them. It can only romance them for a while, but he needs to be able to put his people in focus. In public service, if you see the chief executive is being dictatorial, there'll be issues. Things will not move. But the only problem that we may have is if the government that appointed the chief executive into place is not responsive to what the people are doing or suffering in there. If not, it won't be long, because some of them are political appointees and whatever. They can move him, they can do something, they can compensate him in another place. Nobody wants the organization to go down anyway. So you can see even some of the chief executive, they go to the National Assembly to be confirmed before they are put in place. So there are some rules guiding the public service. So let's now go to YEX. YEX says, how relevant can one be at workplace as head of a team to be successful as HR personnel, especially in construction company? See, in construction company, HR, you are not at the site. What you do is people talk about in construction, you have business unit. Some of your people, even if they are not at the construction site or construction, whatever, they have their representatives there who give them feedbacks on what is going on and what needs to be done. So, but as head of a team, which team are you leading in a construction company? Are you on the site or are you in the office? So depending on the team that you are working with or you are leading, that will determine how you are going to relate with them. But if you are in a construction company and you are at the site of construction, you know that all sorts of people, those who are not your staff, are also there, and you need to manage them. There are people that you engage that are not your staff. They're casuals, mixers, this and that and all. So you have subunits of people that are managing different people. Those who will dig, those who will do iron bending and all those things and construction and what do you do? So it depends. If you are at the site or in the office, it depends on the team you are leading that will give you the management of those people. And one of the things that you can use in managing them is what emotional management, no matter where you find them. Those who are in manufacturing, if they tell you the experience of managing the shop floor, you will wonder how they survived. Because some of them, one day they can come one day and they have red band on their head. That means they are going on strike. Some of them will have black band on their hand. I say death in quote to the HR manager. The HR, you are going. So you need to call them to order and all of that. So it's very important that we need to know the type of team that we are leading for you to be able to, or in the office. Then on the floor we have, how do you bridge the gap between satisfying the employees and organizations goal as HR? You can't satisfy them. You need to manage them in order to retain them. And you can't satisfy, because satisfaction is relative. You can't satisfy them. Okay? Like, what we want is a win-win situation. If I'm taking 40 and you are taking 60, and I'm happy with my 40, fine. I'm satisfied. So there's no, you can't bridge the gap like that. You need to manage them. You need to look out for. And that is why we said, know the needs of the people, know the needs of the organization, and try to see how we can marry them. Okay? Once upon a time, I'll give you the example of Julius Berger. They used to take their staff, their construction site staff, in the big truck and whatever. The ventilation was not good until the union went into place, and it was trailer. I don't know, I think whether they still use a trailer and like container or something. Eventually, they had to now do it so that people can breathe, so that they'll be able to manage the people. If not, people were dying of suffocation in those buses. It's the same thing that the Nigeria police then, the Black Maria, they will arrest people before they take them to the station. Half of them were dead until they now realize that these people are human beings. Even if it is goat, you can't put goat in that place and they will survive. So we need to, you cannot say you will satisfy them. Know the needs of the people, of the employees, and marry them with that of the organization, so that all of us will be there. It's the bottom line approach, not bottom line, bottom up. Bottom up approach system implemented in all organizations. Is it possible? Yes, it is, depending on who you are and how you manage the people. Reason because I have a case whereby the manager of a company sent some names for redundancy, and this was based on the sentiment. This was based on sentiment, because she never wanted this set of staff to work with her, because she felt they were a traitor. The redundancy management noticed the lapses from her and had to call one of the staff to ask who had been doing her job before the redundancy. You see, she has exposed herself. Okay, instead of her to manage them well, she feels they are a threat. They won't take your job. All you have to do, you know that when the chips are down and your people are working with you and for you, you will take the accolade. They will be happy. People will be singing and say, that HR, I salute them. I salute them. They won't know that people are the ones. My Yoruba friends will always say that the deity that is making noise and frightening people, it is human being that is behind it. It is people that will help you to get there. As an HR professional consultant, what do we do in a situation where a supervisee with without formal education, qualification, knows the job more than the supervisor? Oh, sure. Especially in a practical oriented company, sure. That is what you get most times. Are we expected to reward the skills and knowledge which often lead to the profitability to the company or the educational qualification and all? You marry the two. I gave you the example of Boda Yellow and Boda JJC. You see, Boda JJC, we have to find a way. That is what people always say, that it is style by style, or use style. An elder uses style to run away from a mad cow, okay, or a mad dog. You use style, experience and knowledge. You have been to the university. You don't have, or you have educational qualification more than Boda Yellow, and you need is experience to get the job done. You can't send him away, and you can't do the job that he's doing. So what do? Find a way. Find a way. It still borders down on your emotional intelligence and management. It borders down on the we and I that we mentioned before. That honestly, when I became a director when I was in service, there were some things that I didn't know in that department. It was training, but I had the general knowledge of training. But there are some things in that department. Essentially, I first of all was a deputy director in entrepreneurship. and entrepreneurship were not in depth as where I got to the head office then. So I needed those my associates, and they came, but I didn't tell them I didn't know. But the general knowledge that I knew, I brought it to bear. And I also taught them some things, and they taught me some more. So it depends on how you manage Boda Yellow, who does not have educational certification that for you to get the job done. He will do it delighted, and he'll be glad to assist you to achieve. But it's not in all situations. You need to manage them very well. And that is the essence of what we are talking about today, building a community of people management. So you need to develop apart from emotional management, you talk about agile mindset, move from the conventional to what? The radical mindset. What can I do that is extraordinary? What can I do that they are not doing before that will bring results? Be customer centric, stakeholder centric, not necessarily our customer stakeholders, all of them. Be digitally enabled as an HR, or else we won't get there. If you are not digital, please go and learn. Top management must have a buy-in what you are doing and be active participant. Link all your efforts to the needs and strategies of your stakeholders. Lead through change, because change is permanent. Embrace diversity and include others. Learn virtually and be honest that change could be difficult, but we need to inspire people. So how are you creating? Are you creating a workplace like this? Look at this. Workplace where people will wake up and say, God, today is Monday morning. I'm so sad. Or they will look at Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I am not going to see the faces of these people. Are you creating a workplace like that? No, we don't want this type of workplace. For we need to manage our people. We need to know that all of us are in this together, managing our emotions, knowing that anger is what we have worked for all our lives, and destroy all the relationship that we want to set up in the workplace. And anger is one letter short of danger, and that is the D that is there. Emotional management is very important because we need it. It's not that you not get annoyed, but good reason. Remember, see the end of your annoyance. What will happen when the skills are down? Will you thank yourself that you have done a good job? Have you brought danger to the work or anger into the workplace? Question: I learned computer through my subordinate. Oh, thank you. It pays to humble yourself as leaders. This is good. Bamishe Bolaji, fantastic. Lovely. Yes, through our associate, she learned computer. So in HR, in order for us to succeed, use the people management. People management, and people are now be acronym for what? Professionalism. That is why we are here. Professional HR. Okay. Empathy, optimism, partnering, loyalty, engagement, and empowerment. We mentioned that earlier. Feel for others, involve them, speak to them, see to their point of view, hear them out. And that is the fish model. Remember, the rich also cry. The blood that runs in you runs in them. And don't say you don't know who of the organization. Be connected, wired. Are you wired? Wired to connect? Give me a thumbs up. Wired to connect, to form that relationship, that make people to achieve. So thumbs up if you are ready, you are wired with all we have said. Thumbs up, thank you. Yeah, yes. We should be kind. Everyone needs is heavy load. In a world filled with depression and stress, we need to start from somewhere. We need to help somebody. We need to stop doing that which is not adding value to the system. We need to continue that which will bring people to be at peace and not at risk. So where should we start? Where should we start? Now, what will be easy Do a yourself and the people that are with you in your team. What do we pull over? Do a needs assessment from management to the top. Thank God, HR, we are in the boardroom. We need to manage that. We need to be able to get it done. Okay. Then remember all what we have said. If you don't back with action, we will not get there. Knowing, knowledge, nothing. We must apply. Willingness alone. Let's get there. Okay. We will willing is off, but we have to do that you get people together and get the job done. So the most selfish one letter word, we said it before, one is I. Avoid it because it won't work in team working. We need to be there for one another. Thank you for listening. As we go out there to build a people that the organization is ultimate goal and goals, and will be there. Put the cup down, relax, things will fall in place if we are able to get people to work with us for the success organization. If you have any question, let me know so that we can add it to whatever. Okay. Somebody is still giving us thumbs up. So thank you. I'll stop sharing my slides now, and I will let 2 questions where we'll move on. It's 1:30 already, and we didn't start in time, but I'm happy. It was very, very attentive. Some people have been interactive. Chinedu that he said he got my what do I call it? The breeze. I said, oh, others panning there because Lagos is hot. But I sent something to Chinedu. So thank you very much. Nice having you with us. So questions, or thank you. Questions, if you have, or you want to share an experience with us. Thank you for me. Chinedu, thank you. They are still enjoying the breeze. Let them be fanning themselves. Just enjoy the breeze as I sent to you. Okay. Question time. Okay. Modeling, thank you. Okay. Now, over to our anchor person as she takes us through the next level of the next segment of the session.
And you are saying it thank so much. Please can we appreciate how we sounding round of applause. She called it stories, and for me, sitting back there, there were stories that you would call educational, informative, demonstrative, descriptive, insightful, developmental stories. And so thank you very much for that lecture. It's something that we should, that I would advise that we go over the notes again, which is something we can apply to our everyday life as we encounter people every day. Thank you so very much, Ma. We appreciate you and we thank you so much. Right away, we'll be moving on to the oath taking, but before the oath taking, please, I would like to recognize in the person of our dear registrar, joining them on the high table, in the person as the registrar of the Institute, in the person of Dr. Binga Ologbo. He joined on the high table while the lecture was going on. Thank you very much, sir. You're most welcome. And I will be handing over to him for the oath taking. Please note that the code of conduct has been sent to our email. So let us scan it, let us print it out, let us sign it, put it in today's date, and then we can send it to the email that sent it to you. But let me just quickly with the email address. you can please send it to info@cihimglobal.org. I'll take it again, info@cihimglobal.org. So you can please send the oath, which means, okay, you already have it there. What we want to do is, I think at the end of today, you can please hand over to Mrs. Testy Christopher Kechi, she's at the back there. But for our online inductees, we would want you to please scan it, print it, scan it, and then send it back via email to that email address. So I hand over to registrar for the oath taking. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm sorry for coming late. We just tried to get something done at the office. And before the oath taking, I'll just take to the preamble to introduce the institute to you for us to be with the great institute for which we intend to be members that are to be inducted of the institute. I in just a very few lines of the welcome address. In this, I'm going to participate that the institute that all right. So we are pleased to say that that is done today is geared towards having inducted at various categories. And we are delighted that the institute has all the legal rights that is required to do what today certification from appropriate government authority, having the approval of the Attorney General of the Federation to do what it is today. And the President also expressed mind to the Charter Institute of Human Resource Management as a better frontier of knowledge to increase our knowledge in the area of development. You have to take it closer. Yeah, that the institute has a very rich content, and the content is so sufficient that members will be encouraged at regular intervals to participate in the expanse of knowledge in order to get ourselves well equipped in a dynamic environment through training and workshops that will be organized at regular intervals for members. And we urge members to take part in these seminars and workshops that will be organized at regular intervals, and members will be communicated during. We also urge members that will be inducted today that as we've been inducted into the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, that we urge you to be a very good ambassador of this institute in order for you to propagate the image of the institute wherever you go. You have to take note from what the resource person has said, from our erudite scholar and erudite person, Mrs. Ibeyi, that my regard to you, we are there. We miss your physical presence. That expect you to be a good ambassador. This is a fellow of the institute. Equally myself, I'm a fellow member of the institute, that you display very good image, because the institute is and also develop in the area of human development. And we have to take note that the people being to understand on the surface of the earth is the human complex, that you need a very good knowledge to live with human beings, because even the Bible says the heart of man deceitful, and desperately wicked. He used an adjective to qualify the heart of man, desperately, and he also said that the heart of man is evil. So that is why, because of the complexity nature of being, we require knowledge to enable us to manage humanity. And that is why we have a portion of that says that people perish for knowledge. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is the ability to learn to know. When you learn to know, you now learn how to manage human beings. Because human beings are very complex and the heart of human being is very wicked. And even me that is speaking is not exempted because the collective word is a human being. That our heart is wicked. Gave us a leverage that when we acquire knowledge, we will stay away from the realm being destruction. We stay on them. That is why the platform we're having today is to expand our frontier of knowledge. Expanding our frontier of knowledge and see how to manage human beings. The best way to be, not only in the organization, even in our home, even among informal relationships you have with friends, that you must learn how to manage human beings. I can pass the position because I expect you to be a good ambassador of the institute because whatsoever certificate we issue today is at the approval of the council. I'm also a member of the council. And as a woman rights activist and a practicing lawyer, I always canvass to people that at any point in time, when I meet people, I always tell people that one of the things you can give to human being in life is respect. That people that live together today and they are to live for may not be as a result of love, but as a result of respect. The moment you allow respect to meet or to be absent or to be derogated in your conduct with anybody, you are likely to fall apart with the person. I don't look in the first because as we are all seated here, we have respect for us and we stay within our bounds and everybody is true. Nobody is talking about love here. You may not love me, I may not love you. Don't even love me, I don't love you because we are just seeing for the first time. But we have respect for ourselves. You stay within your bounds. I stay within my bounds. You stay within where you are meant to sit. You are sitting down there. Not step on of any other person. Not abusing the other, not trespassing the other party. And everybody is peaceful. Meaning that respect in most cases supersede a lot of things. So we are not shipping it to you that in any capacity you find yourself, even in your matrimonial home, learn to respect whosoever you come across with. Respect should be your watchword. Respecting a younger person does not make you an inferior person. Respecting a person of lower class does not make you an inferior person. You're only going to have a peaceful life when you learn how to respect human beings, irrespective of the class you may belong. You know, when we are young lecturers in University of Lagos, we tell us when we get to PhD and professorial level, that at times we now go up, we now realize that there's not even in the life. And the higher you go, the fuller it becomes. You now realize that there's nothing. You now relate to those children as a children. You relate with 100 level students. Even at the professorial level, they will encourage you to go and take 100 level students so that you instill into them what they need to know as a newcomer into the system. So I'm appealing to you that as I'm going to carry the certificate of the institute, I expect a great quality from you. And that one of the quality is respect for humanity. Please, you may be driving the best of cars. If you see an Okada man, and go. I've lost a very responsible friend because of his impatience with Okada rider. He bought a very big car and he was driving himself that night. And Okada man was just driving very close to him, and out of anger, he knocked the Okada. The Okada was more better and hit him with different weapons, and we lost him. and those people ran away. If he has been patient, one, not only patient, if he has respected that man and believed his human being. So I couldn't say that in his burial, I couldn't say that in my speech, but I know if you are giving him that privilege, that leverage, that you are crossing him, I will wait. You are abusing your papa, they out. Your mama, they out. I don't argue with you. There are people that does not deserve your reply. That is what you need to know. It is not everybody that deserves your reply. There are people that doesn't deserve your reply. Your silence is the comfort to that person. So it's not the evidence of that. So you must understand that because the certificate you are carrying today, God forbid, if there's anything, somebody will say, tell us your history, tell us your educational background. You will not say, I graduated from this, I'm a member of this, I'm a member of that, I'm a member of Central Institute of Human Resource Management. And maybe a judge will ask you, because even the judges and the police, they are human beings, and they look some of your level of certification to condemn your action. So there are people that you don't expect such from. There are people that you see your certificate and give that respect. So we are appealing to you that the first thing you need to learn as a member of this institute is respect for humanity. Giving people respect does not make an inferior person, but they always give you rest of mind. Just respect people, talk to people politely, no matter their status. And another thing, even when you give respect, learn to obey natural justice. Learning to obey natural justice is that you must always have a listening to take action, and those actions have listening here. Even God Almighty, and He's still calling. Adam, where are you? There you are, heard your voice, you are hiding yourself. Why are you hiding yourself? Have you eaten from what I asked you not to eat? Are we saying God was not aware when He was eating it? God Himself is omniscient. He knows everything. God Himself is omnipresent. He's present everywhere. But was He asking questions? In other words, He was giving him opportunity to defend himself. Learn to give listening ear. But Adam was not too intelligent to answer. He was asked a question, is that the question? Have you eaten yet? No. Then he started blaming God. You know the woman you gave me. So you must learn the use of language also. That when you wrongly use language, you will put yourself into prophecy when you die. Meaning that voice is free, but it can take your life. So you have to watch and teach mostly with doctoral fellow. You know, doctor, a philosophical degree. And when somebody says the doctoral fellow, they believe that we have acquired so much in the area of human development, human management, that we expect that quality to open our chances. And at times, when you do not know what to say, be quiet. And in other words, you are now at the stage as in action, that party you are dealing with. We need to take note. You know, transcendental nature of life. And the transcendental of life has made this life a trivial place. That is now said, what is even about it? And if you understand the transcendental nature of life, you know that it is good to respect people, to fear people. Because I read in a particular area of the law of God. He said, when I was naked, you gave me clothes. When I was hungry, you gave me food. And when I was thirsty, you gave me water. And he asked, when did I do all this thing to you? He said, because you have done it to my image. It strikes my mind that by the time you are wicked to the humanity, by the time you are destroying humanity, you are also fighting God. And God has to go to fight you. So this is that way. Not people in relating with human beings. Because I'm in a particular position today, I come so desperate. I become a retailer that we can question me. I feel enough for body. I can do a period. You also go. Other you like it. So that is the consequence there. The senior lecturer, somebody will go to school with students and not. No, I'm saying, why will I be harsh on students? A student will stand up and ask to start shouting on the student. You quite sit down. No, but that's the reason why the student is in school. The student came to school to learn, to understand. And the certain question you are pulling on the student. You are instilling on that student that this is how you should behave when you grow up. No. You need to teach them how you expect to grow. They need to learn from you. You must be a good role model to anybody. Some of us, we are bad role model even in the environment we live. And some of us have come to the point to say they don't have to be a person. Let everybody know. They don't have to be I'll kill anybody. Now carry that image and you account that image to God. Because one will give account of your work. So if you continue and you are happy with that which you are carrying, so be it. But take note, there is no permanency, there is no eternity on the subject. Never class to belong. So we expect us to demonstrate quality, to respect human beings wherever we are. And don't even say in my matrimonial home, I'm the person who is providing the bread and the person who is providing the tea. And that is making you authoritarian, that is making you abusive. No, it does not work that way. You must respect the other party. A lot of people want to come closer to you. People who are going to relate with you. Even inform, when you talk to friends, show respect to them. Let them meet you with your words.